The last note I have is about Brimskara and closely followed by Dead.
I mean, that's the recap if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, there we go.
So, you pretty much summed it up. Last we left off, we ventured down to the ground level, or bottom level of this dungeon, into the kitchen, where we met Brimskara, the fire giant chef, as she was moving around the kitchen, getting frustrated, trying to cook for Duke Zalto and his guest. She mentioned looked like she was cooking up quite a large meal of sorts, before the party decided that the best way to deal with her would be to try and A, put her to sleep via poison, or B, if that failed, to take her down the old-fashioned way, which ended up happening. Yeah, I know, and I thought about that when I was making it. I'm not going to read that comment out loud, but going into the kitchen and fighting Brimskara with her smoke methods, aiding her, spilling hot cauldron water on the ground, dancing around the kitchen, and taking a few hard hits. Eventually, you did I think it was Jaluk that felled her. And she falls to the ground, and we kind of get a moment of respite. On her, there were a couple of items that were pointed out: a cookbook, some iron keys, and two more of those vials that she had taken, that made her quite resistant to a lot of damage. To the south, there is the pantry that Hera got a glance at, some colourful objects in there. To the west were three almost like wells of water. It looks like there is some sort of cooling system for this forge. And to the east, just down here, in case anyone missed it, there is another door that is closed. So I pass it over to you as the giant falls and everyone catches their breath.
We definitely need to have a rest soon, but I'm not sure if they're expecting a meal, how safe this place is going to be. Maybe we'll have a look around and see if we can find somewhere safe.
I mean, she was literally cooking dinner. I feel pretty bad about that.
By the looks of the size of all the pots and ingredients and everything is like comically a little bit larger than it should be. It did look like she was starting to prepare things, so it's not like she was about to serve and walk out with plates. It was, starting the cauldron boiling and starting to chop up the vegetables and such. So if they're by any guess of food preparation, you've got at least a little bit of time before anyone's like, where's dinner?
I'm going to go have a look at the pantry.
Sure.
Oh, actually, is this door locked?
You go over to it, and it does look like it is locked with a 3-prong lock.
I guess I'll search the body, see if she has a key.
Sure. Give me an investigation check, please.
It's pretty good. 17 on the dice. Investigation. Where are we? Here we go. Was that 25?
Nice. So, looks like she has not got a lot on her apart from what's around that belt. Isn't carrying copious amounts of gold or anything like that. But you do get 3 of these items. First of all is a 3-pronged iron key. Looks like it fits in locks that would be kind of all over the place that you've seen. A couple of them.
Is that including the one at the very top that became...
It looks very similar. Very similar. It's kind of like an iron key that kind of has 3 bits that come out of it. You feel like you would put them into the locks and turn all 3 of them at the same time. And it matches the one on that eastern door as well. There are 2 vials of this. I think I said it was like a iron liquid that are 2 potions of invulnerability.
So good.
These are for the purpose of mechanics, 2 potions. So 1 for each person, or 2 for 1 person. Like, even though they're kind of giant sized, they're not going to be shared between people. So it's just 2 of those items. And then finally, there is this book, this tome that hangs off a chain. Seems to be kind of clasped on, and you kind of brush off the cover, and it says Griffin's Gourmet, a cookbook by the Society of the Questing Knives. But she has nothing else on her person.
I'll take the key and I'll go and unlock the other door.
This one down here?
Yeah.
All right. Put the key in. I'd say Puck has to kind of use it with 2 hands. Puts it in, rotates it, and the door doesn't swing open, but opens with ease. In front of you down here, you see a long corridor lit by what are they called? Braziers of fire, and it appears to go all the way down into what looks like an opening into a hall. You can see all the way down there, and you hear the noise of a racket, really. You hear plates clattering, voices chanting, moving around, and you catch the glimpse, if you can just see it on the map, of a small, maybe 3 foot tall dragon-like figure. Red skin, running around with 10 plates stacked up on the side. You can't quite hear what they're doing. As I'm imagining you've just opened the door slightly, but clanging and scraping of chairs. It looks like this is a mess hall of sorts down here.
I'll try and quietly close and relock the door.
Yeah, you again, this is not a creaky door or anything. It's used quite often. Closes it, you turn the keys back around, and the noise dims down again.
Probably not the way we want to go if we are trying to have a rest. Some kind of mess hall at the end, and I think I saw some small creatures down there.
You would know what kobolds are.
Yeah, sure. Oh well, shall we keep looking?
And I imagine looking through the door as well. It's very much of that, like.
Magically enchanted to keep the sound out.
I mean, they're big iron doors.
Yeah.
What was that, Hero?
What was further around past those, past through the kitchen? Have we looked that way?
To the west. Is that what you're saying, up here?
Have we looked that way?
No? Give me a perception check if you want to go have a look.
$14.
14. So what you see walking into this room here, I haven't covered the whole thing, haven't I yet, is you see 3 kind of cisterns of this, what looks like icy water, and 3 pipes coming in from the top that are pumping this water in. As they churn around into in each of these cisterns, they then kind of drain out what looks like throughout the forge. Your best guess is that they're using the spring water from the mountains to keep the forge cool in places, to stop it from overheating, to stop from damage or anything like that. And on the north wall, you see 3 cogs. They haven't really shown up quite well on the map, but they're directly above each of the cisterns. And above each cog is a symbol in Dwarvish. I don't believe you speak Dwarvish, Hera. But if anything, the water looks fresh off the mountain, crystal clear. Almost reminds you of seeing that pool of water in the Druid's Cave when you first arrived on the mountains, like that pure mountain water.
It's quite nice, actually. I might take a handful. Just
Hey, Molokov. How strong are you feeling?
And the question is this. Always feeling strong. What you want, little one?
Slightly out of character, but okay. There is a 15-foot tall, currently dead humanoid lying in the middle of a kitchen, which is a dead giveaway to the fact that we're here. Perhaps we should drag her into the pantry? Somehow.
It is a good call. I think I still need a Jolo for this.
I try picking up a finger, and it's just fucking hilarious. Like...
I think between you all, you could start maneuvering her into this pantry as you kind of open the doors. But before we get to the pantry, Hera, as you wash yourself with this water, it is almost that cold that gives a bit of a shock to your system, but it's refreshing. And I would like you to choose one benefit from a long rest that you can regain. Whether that be your hit points, your spell slots, a level of exhaustion, an ability. One benefit from a long rest.
I'll take my spell slot.
All right.
Or is it one spell slot?
No. Like, if you gain all your spell slots back on a long rest, that's one benefit. Might be a few thousand years before they create an ice bath as a hobby, but that's kind of what you get the feeling of. But meanwhile, the rest of the team is heaving this body into the pantry. And for everyone that's opened the doors, Puck, I know you're going to look at it specifically as well. Inside the pantry, there are shelves and shelves of food and ingredients and such like that. Can you just give me a basic perception check, please, Puck?
Natural one. Gonna re-roll that. That's better. That's a perception. That's a 22.
22. So, in this pantry, there is enough food for you guys to pick out. I'm not going to name every individual item or stuff, but you can each add 10 rations if you so choose. There is also at the back, I'm going to say, and Hera, once you kind of wander back as well, you probably notice this too, is a spice rack, or a herb rack, sorry. And on it there is labelled thyme, chives, coriander, rosemary, sage, and mint. That each of them are kind of sitting in like a little punnet, and they seem to have magical energy wafting off them. However, it looks like there is only enough for a consumption of one per thing if we choose to do that. And then, what have we got? We've got rations, herbs, and there is also, Puck, you see a bag of self-raising flour with a red X marked on it.
I'm gonna grab that.
Yep.
Because in my D&D games I've ever played in, there's always a flower bomb that goes off.
It does seem to have a little bit of, not magical essence, but there's something about this flower that is interesting.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to say this takes maybe 5-10 minutes to heave this body in. Back over to you.
So, herbs. Yeah, Puck likes cooking. He's definitely looking through some of the rations and things and choosing some nice stuff. And so, what were the herbs?
They are thyme, chives, coriander, rosemary, sage, and mint.
He's going to take some sage. Hi, Jono.
Sorry, computer decided that trying to run Discord and a few other things was just not working, so I'm now on my phone.
Oh, good.
But yeah, sorry, the last I got was someone drank some special water, like from the water boy or whatever. And
yeah, so that seems to have rejuvenated Hera a bit. And then in the pantry, we've found a bag of self-raising flour with a big red X on it. Rations, enough for 10 per person, so you can add 10 rations to your character sheet if you so choose. And then Puck's just looking at this herb rack that seems to be giving off a bit of magical energy, and there's thyme, chives, coriander, rosemary, sage, and mint. Those are all labelled out the front.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to take some sage.
Sure. Take some as in eat some, or take some as in...
I do intend on eating some with some rations.
Okay, can you just note that down then, please? Magic shades.
Problem with sage is that sage also just sounds like a wise person.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely taking the mint.
You're taking the mint? Cool. Can you note that down as well, please? Say again,
Has
Hera.
Hera come to talk to us yet?
I think Hera's entering the room now, so go Hera.
Oh. Oh, yeah. You guys must really try the water out there. It's blimey, very refreshing. My goodness. Oh, you have shifted the body into here. That would be a good idea.
Thanks for your wise insights and all of the hard work and effort you put into moving the giant body.
Go on, as he's talking about the dead body, I'm gonna go and steal her cookbook as well.
Nice.
Is this water? It's got a few cuts and bruises on him.
I needed to. I was exhausted about a moment ago. I needed some refreshment. It seems like it's some sort of cooling system for the entire facility, but it's a mountain spring. Reminds me of the other mountains that we've been through. But I don't know. Something feels like it's trying to help us, I guess. But I would recommend go wash, have a drink. How much it's perfection.
I'll head over.
Nice.
But yeah, it's gonna like wash. Yeah, my intention. I'm gonna drink some. I'm gonna wash like some of the cuts and blood off me and all that.
Yeah. So Hera, you kind of have this tome that you kind of open up, and as you open it up, you feel a sense of wonder, and almost like when you open that textbook for the first time at the university, and it's just like, oh, and you flick through some of the pages, and some of it's written in a bit of shorthand, and some of it's written in a common, and you just feel a sense of wonder looking at this. I've sent you the full description of the item. But Puck, yeah, you head back over to this system, and like Hera said, you kind of drink up a little bit. It's cool, it's refreshing. Wash over some of the cuts and stuff, and yeah, you can choose one benefit of a long rest that you can recover.
Whether or not it does anything later, but I am also just going to fill up my water skin.
Copy that.
Yeah, Puck, like, watches as like the cuts on his arm sort of heal up, and then he's gonna rush back and very strongly encourage everyone to go and wash themselves or drink some or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Who else is
It has been a
partaking?
few days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Molokov almost takes it as, oh shit, I guess I stink. And I will wash up, I guess.
Nice. So yeah, anyone that chooses to wash or drink in this water, because it is continuously pouring in and then draining out, pouring in and draining out. Yeah, you can choose one benefit of a long rest and recover that. Whether
Yeah,
that be
I definitely will.
I'll get my
Did anyone take the vials of the invulnerability potions?
no one has yet.
Yeah. I assume we did,
I
but
would
I
love
didn't note
one.
down.
You can grab
I
them, Jaluk.
Well, I'll take two because there's two, right? And I'll take one, and I'll definitely offer that around to other people.
Maybe Molokov, you should hang on to it. It seemed to make her pretty resilient. You're often in the thick of it.
Maybe to that point, someone else should take it. I can take a few bits on my own. Up to you. I'm happy to.
Well, it seems you all get pretty stuck in, so no one's shirking it.
It
I like
might
that.
help in a pinch. Yeah, go on.
All right, as you distribute them out, everyone's kind of washing themselves, giving it a bit of a drink and stuff. I will point out that to the south of the cistern room is another set of double iron doors.
That was going to be my question as well. Jalug and Molokov are rinsing themselves. I'll just peek down that corridor, but you've answered that for me.
Yep.
And
While
then I'll
everyone's oh no, you go. Sorry.
wash myself as well. Yeah, as you were.
While everyone's washing, I'll say, do we still need to have a break, or shall we continue?
I mean, I'm feeling all right.
I feel a lot better.
I think Molokov will, after he's sort of cleaned himself up, he pulls out a couple more of his capsules, and I'll give myself, now that I've got some spell slots back, a little bit of cure wounds.
Nice.
And Hera didn't point it out, but I suppose Ghost's passive perception is high enough. What does what does that dwarven say on the walls?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So you'll understand it. Basically, above each of the cisterns is 3 cogs. Not cogs, but you know, like those cog-looking the valves.
Big turn handles. Yeah.
And above each of them is a big symbol in Dwarvish. And with a flash of memory from your primary school days, they are numbered 1, 2, 3.
Oh, basic languages. Fantastic.
But they do look like the valves are obviously connected to each of the cisterns. So like 1, 2, 3.
Hey, I know nobody's too keen on a rest anymore, but I think if I flip all these switches, in theory, we stop the water supply to the forges. Could really throw a spanner in their works, but it would definitely attract attention.
I think we've done quite a bit to already draw attention. It's I don't know.
It could be a good distraction of sorts. If there's some sort of overheating problem, they will have to send people to come here to investigate, which means there will be people that are not at their post, which is where we might be heading.
That's a fair call.
Possibly.
If only I could see
Does
through
it look
doors.
like these? Do these tunnels look like they continue down at the size they are?
No, it's like it goes into a like it's basically a
funnels in.
sink, yeah, a funnels in.
Don't tell me you want to climb down the pipes. That's got to be one of like the top 3 dumbest ideas I've heard coming out of your mouth so far.
I don't really want to drown.
Just smaller than like a human tread. Well,
Oh no, you could fit.
well, that's why we tell them what to do. It's good.
Come out looking like a drowned
It's
cat.
just an idea.
Could Patrick be transformed into something that could swim? Perhaps.
Ooh, I had not considered.
Not that it may avail us of anything. I imagine the pipes just go to a big,
Yeah,
probably just circulate around forge, no?
yeah. Not to here. It's not like it's going to have windows and cooling system. It will just be piping the whole way through.
Yeah, I'd probably
Gotta
say
have it
between
somewhere.
Good point. It wouldn't be.
I'd probably say between Ghost and Molokov, that sounds more reasonable. That they're pipes that go through the forge. There's probably some sprinklers at some point, not necessarily a fire safety system, but it's not like these pipes will lead to a room kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or we will just encapsulating.
Yeah.
And do these valve handles look like they have a central nut that's kind of holding them on?
How do you mean?
Can I potentially turn the valve off and then remove the handle?
You can certainly try.
Good to know. I always love trying things.
And then drop it down one of the other ones, and there's like no way to get that back.
Now you're thinking like an engineer.
Sure. Let's have a look at it. What valve would you like to attempt to turn off?
Oh, first of all, I'm gonna ding ding. Take a fucking good look through these locked double doors at the moment. See if I can pick up any entities directly on the other side.
Oh, you're using your.
I'm gonna use the geometry seeing.
Brilliant. So let me quickly just find your Facebook chat.
Ooh, 1 charge left. Okay.
You're using the 1 charge left?
No, this means I have 1 charge left. It's the second one.
Okay. So you look through these doors and the lens kind of corrects itself and the heat of the forge kind of gives a bit of a wavering look, but ahead of you, you almost see one large pool of molten rock and molten lava. You tilt the lens up and you see a pathway around the higher level, the upwards direction. Seeing that this was probably where the salamander's door was that you encountered first after the tunnels, there looks like a pathway on the top that goes around this place. You see 2-3 large cauldrons that are like taking this molten rock and putting them in the cauldrons. You see automated anvils smacking down. Looks like they are used to sturdy weapons. But what you also see lying dormant at the bottom of this pool is a sort of creature, lizard-like and large. I've just sent you a photo on Facebook Messenger as it kind of just sits at the bottom, radiating heat. That's what you see through that.
Yeah, so you see Ghost pick up his seeing glass, and you've seen him use it a few times before. And normally, the look on his face is like he really like peers into it, just trying to see things. But this time, he just kind of like lifts it, moves around for a bit, and then it drops away from his face, and he's just standing staring at the double doors.
Just
with
for
a very
context,
puzzled look.
you are down here, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're on thereabouts.
Ghost, what's happening?
Uh,
I mean, I guess I'll also send you this ghost.
we're gonna have to be really quiet in the next room.
We can go the other way if that helps. What are you seeing?
That's a good question. It's big. It's very salamandery, but like maybe 10. And
A
currently
dragon?
sleeping in a pool of lava.
Oh.
Oh, like Puck's. Oh.
I mean, I know I've only got limited range on how far I can see, but was I able to spot any sort of exit from that room?
Yeah, down the south of that room, it looked like there were 2 doorways. The rooms to the east are where the anvils are kind of like doing that toon, toon, like smacking down thing. It looks like no one's using them at the moment, but you've seen this kind of forgery in dwarven places. It's used to like, with the impact, it kind of imbues weapons with a plus number, if that makes sense, in world.
Okay, so I'll very quickly pull out my sketchbook in front of Puck and just kind of like pull one of the rare pages out, slap it on top, and very quickly draw out a shape schematic of this room,
Sure.
or what I'm seeing. So what I see is a rectangle of lava directly south of us with 3 separate rooms coming off it, which are these anvils. I feel it's best for me just to describe that to give you a mental picture, rather than resending anything. Describe that to Puck and be like, right. That's all I got.
Right.
Everything's scary.
So maybe we go the other way then.
What was the other way?
It was a bunch of kobolds eating dinner.
That doesn't sound much better.
It sounds much better to me.
This one's asleep.
Yes, and how has our stealth been going for us?
That's a fair point.
Well, look, I was like,
4 bolts fall off. Well, I guess the penultimate question is, you want me to fuck with their cooling system?
Let's involve everyone in this conversation.
all right, so everyone kind of joins up now. I'm gonna say you're all kind of hanging around here.
I would say if you want to get the attention of the things sleeping in lava, the cooling system is probably a good place to start.
I mean, if they're linked, they might not be linked.
They might not be, but if we're worried about waking it up,
Still haven't seen any evidence of our shifted friends. I think this is kind of a pick one situation. Either we
I am
attempt to disturb whatever they're trying to build down there, or kind of go with what we've got.
tempted to deal with the little dragons before we fuck with too many things, you know. I would hate to get overwhelmed, you know.
You want to go punch some kobolds first?
Well, I only think I'd rather fight them now than fight them alongside a big lava lizard. You know?
Understandable. Just
And
saying, though, there
perhaps
used
we
to be this
find.
guy.
There you go.
No, there used to be this guy that I heard of. His name was Tucker, and he had this whole horde of kobolds walking amongst him, and they're just. It was not. It was not a good thing, as the story goes.
I think that these ones are pretty well distracted eating their food. They're not set up for anything.
No, you're not wrong. Mhm.
Hera, Jaluk, thoughts, feelings?
Hera is having both. Yes.
Here's probably trying to breathe, but is kind of looking up in the conversation, and I do kind of agree with Volkov. It would be better to take out smaller ones now, as opposed to when we are not prepared for it. Was there no other? There's no other third option of the pathway. We must only take the two.
We can always check the door upstairs. See what's behind.
How are we
That's
going
locked.
to get there? That was across that. We came through the gap in the carts. We'd have to go all the way
Yep,
around.
yep,
Yeah.
that's right. I'd
Oh,
forgotten.
pretty sure I saw that there's like a walkway above us in the next room. If my math is correct, and it rarely ever isn't, they kind of connect.
Just check back on the carts and you see a fried Patrick sitting in there.
That's correct, Ghost. As you can see, a banister, like a pathway, not carts, per such. Actually, let me check. Maybe you can't see carts. Yes, you can. The lens would have shown you as well. Is along that banister, carts were going in that direction. So, let me get back to your map.
Yeah, it's cool.
So they would have been going from here, this direction.
Oh yeah, sure. Working their way around the room. Yeah.
Yep.
How many kobolds did you see? Handful.
I only
Three.
saw a couple of kobolds, but I can't tell how big the room is. It seemed to be a large hall, but I only saw like 2 or so. But the noise that was coming through was more than 2.
Definitely more than
Wait,
2.
I've still got a couple of minutes. Let me take a peek. I'll chip all the way to this door.
Yep.
And with, I guess, is about the last remaining couple of minutes on this geometry seeing, just see what I can see in that room.
Sure, why don't you take a look? And describe to the party.
Resend a photo. Resend a photo. Resend a photo. So resend a photo, guys. Ah, there we go. Ghost starts counting on his hand. Wait,
They're all moving around as well, so
wait. Ah, it's like 4 each. Maybe 8 for Jalou.
No one's got any big deal with a lot of people at once kind of things on them, do they?
Let me.
I might have thing on though.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get creative. Oh, while I'm at it, I'm going to take out what look like miniature health potions. I hand 2 to each of you. I've had these for fucking forever. And we might as well have them in case of emergency. These are 1 hit point health potions.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
cool.
Only 1 hit point matters.
So each have 2
Which
of
is
those.
silly. Like,
It's
oh,
ridiculous.
you're on the verge
but
of
like,
you're on the verge of death. Oh, now you can do everything you could do before because you're on 1 HP.
Yeah.
should it come with a you can only take actions or bonus actions stipulation? No, it's great. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay.
While we're investigating this door, Ghost is looking through his lenses. Herod, do you want to walk us through what you're holding?
Yeah, that's why I am definitely distracted and not paying attention. I've sort of probably picked this book up. Would have like puzzledly looked at the cover and gone, oh, like probably just flicked it, page 1, and then like reset, sort of would have flicked through it, flicked all the way, and just sort of like skimmed, got to the end, probably slapped it shut, and went, turned it, opened to page 1, and just started reading away. This is a mystical menu. So essentially,
You don't have to read it word for word, but
what's I no so it's well, we have these, and I'll start pulling out a couple of things that I've collected already off of things that we've slain. Well, I've often said that there's much usefulness in the death of things, and this is much to prove. It's if I can find certain things, uh, uh, I can. This book has information on lots of different beasts and animals and monsters. Um, I can learn things about those particular monsters and certain features or attributes about them, which is quite interesting. It seems there is the usefulness. I can learn perhaps a weakness of a monster or a creature, perhaps. Um, what's its how to best fell it. It would seem. Um, it seems there's also like just in the back here somewhere. It's some sort of like a almost like a defense mechanism for the book. I can put a emotion into the book, and if anyone tries to read it, they will be forced into this emotion. It's quite an interesting little tidbit, I thought. But I think this is going to be quite an assistance to us. Um,
It tells you how to cook monsters, doesn't it?
there also seems to be a way of subtle and secretive communication between us. But I'm not quite sure how that works yet. I will. It seems like a lot of reading. I've only just skimmed the outside. It will take me some time to really nut out what flavors this book has in store.
and just for context as well, the end section, the first lot of those spells can only be used from the book. You can't learn those, whereas the second ones you can obviously copy down at some point. Does that make sense?
Ah, interesting. Yeah. Cool. Interesting. Right. Gotcha.
or you can just
yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
No, I'll probably just keep it as the book itself.
Yep.
Because I'll use it as the book, and that can be
Yep.
part of a spell book, I guess.
All right. So, bit of time has been
To
passed.
answer your question, Buck, I have no way of blowing things up in a large area currently available to me. If you find any gunpowder or anything that smells like petroleum, whatever that is,
Oil.
I can get creative.
Special flower.
Special flour?
Hold up the sack of self-raising flour with a red X on it.
Sure, it's not just full of maggots or something?
Pretty sure.
Want me to take a look at it?
Please.
We're not about to waste time for another 10 minutes, are we?
I don't think so. We're probably going to go via the kobolds, right? Surely.
Sounds like it. I'll load a canister into my codex and just hard cast identify.
And while you're doing that, Puck is going to eat his magic sage. A little bit of a salted pork, bit of sage on top.
Nice.
I bet you didn't know that would go well with Fentor's leather.
Cool. Sage, like you described before, could be used for wisdom. A wise sage, a wise plant. And as you eat this, for the next 24 hours, when this creature makes an ability check that uses wisdom, it can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
I sent you a message, Michael.
Oh.
Do you want me to read that again, Jed?
Yes, please, sorry.
When the creature, for 24 hours, when the creature makes an ability check that uses its wisdom, it can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
Okay.
Okay. That is some weird ass flour. And it probably cost a lot of money. How do I put this? It's a fail-safe for a chef? In case they, I don't know, slit their carotid while trying to chop carrots? Then there's a big explosion. Everything gets caught on fire, and you're back to being okay. It's a bomb. Just.
That heals you?
Well. You might have to make a bit of a blood sacrifice first. A personal blood sacrifice.
You can read it.
If you fall, it's like a dead man switch, and then it explodes, and depending on how big the explosion is how much better you feel when you stand back up directly after it. This is one of the weirdest things I have ever seen in my life. You hold on to the bag of flour. If you die, it explodes in a 15-foot radius, does 66 fire damage, and then you regain hit points equal to the fire damage dealt.
Sorry, and it was 6d6?
6d6.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
I heard 6 as well.
Look, it's really good flour. It's not really great flour, okay?
How interesting.
I wouldn't eat that.
No.
Although
maybe it's
in
good for
small
Hera,
doses, that
because
could be quite
often
exciting.
it's if you die, right? It's not
Mm.
just if you
Yep.
go down
Ahem.
to 0.
Oh, okay. So it's like you have
Oh.
to fail your death saves too.
Oh, yeah. While the bag is on your person and you die. Is that a correct translation?
I'm gonna say if you hit 0.
Right. Did I get down and die on my codex mixed up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
When you're making
is-
death saves.
Maybe Hera should have this then. I feel like Hera's gone down on her own more than anyone else, right?
It's a fair call.
Yeah.
Is she likely to be in the face of whatever she is fighting? I suppose she has been.
I feel like
Far too
yes,
often, really.
what's happened usually is we've all rushed off to go deal with the threat and something's snuck up behind.
Yeah.
I'll give
I
it to
mean,
Hera.
this is a wild
Yeah, that's a
thought,
good call.
but if Hera's willing to take one for the team, I mean, just kind of run into the middle and wait to see what happens.
Hera,
Yeah,
I'm
stuff to
gonna step
It is
in.
only 66.
Yeah, Hera, I'm gonna step in here and just from what Dale and I have talked about, these are 3 people talking about Hera's
Yep.
way of going down.
I'm hearing a lot of this.
And we get-
As soon as you said you handed her the bag, you would have handed her the bag of flour. She's probably sort of just sitting there looking at it, and has probably zoned out from the conversation while you guys have continued on.
There's probably some kind of tactic you could do with that ghost, but hell of a risk, hell of a sacrifice. I think this is
Yeah,
more
like
of a
I said, it was a
Hera,
wild. Look, just dark side of the mind, okay? Like,
intrusive thoughts.
yeah, gotta let them out every now and then. Hera, I'm kidding. You're good.
Oh, I mean, it's I
Do you not want to hold on to that?
you think I'm going? No, it makes sense. You're right. Without and I almost died. I sort of tuck it into my belt. Do we? Sorry. Do we?
It seems Hera's gone
more of
catatonic.
a plan, or is it? I mean, it's I perhaps I can I'm just going to sit down for 1 second. Hero sort of just said, this is all quite a lot. No, we've been around quite a lot of death, but usually it's not me. But oops, no.
All breaking up. I didn't catch any of that.
Don't know anymore. Perhaps I'm not cut out for this like the rest of you are.
I don't know if I'd say that, Hera. I think it's more of a. We want you here. We want you to be safe. And this is a way of helping to keep you safe. And hopefully it never gets used, but if it does, it means that you get to stick
I
around.
suppose this is a good measure.
Mhm. It's a hell of a time for the wizardess of necromancy to be questioning the ins and outs of their own death. What changed?
It is. I don't know.
I mean,
It
is
is
this
not
some of the Yellow Emperor shit?
so
Like,
much the death. I think a little, perhaps. This is it's a lot more that I think I don't know. That I thought I was okay with not knowing. Seems there is a lot more that I can do with this version, perhaps of myself. I have been
sorry,
very
I'll be back.
carefree, I would say, in regards to my death prior. I had accepted it. Maybe I knew it was a thing that would come, and then I would proceed to do whatever was next. But I guess I now question what is next and how much power I will really have there. I don't want to feel like I'm burdening the group by always needing to have an eye kept on me. Hell, when I first even got sent, I was only sent with Molokov because he could protect me. I don't know. It's. I know you will say that I am not a burden. I know you will definitely say, sort of point to Molokov and that, but that's because we are friends, and friends do more for each other than they would for a stranger. I don't know. Perhaps I am overthinking.
I
Not
think
half an hour ago, I was on the floor.
Molokov's probably got a lot of scars on his body, but he looks down at the ones. I almost imagine the ones closed up by Hera's spells
Yep.
are like almost a little bit, just a little bit grosser, a little bit, more matted. And I think, but he still looks at the board and you have, and then he looks at his arm. You have kept me together more times than I can say. You are not the burden. You are the reason. The fact that I was sent along with you was almost more for my benefit, I think. I could not bear to let you do it alone.
Now you're going to make me tear up, Molokov. My goodness. I did not
Look,
mean to.
if anyone was going to have power, as you seem to be afraid you won't, after we die, it's gonna be you. If there was anyone who's gonna kick ass on the other side, it's going to be you.
It does certainly make me feel a bit better.
But let's none of us see the other side anytime soon. You do not have to hold on to this item.
Hera, as you breathe out a sigh of relief from that, can you give me a wisdom save real quick?
Oh shit.
Ooh. Save. Uh, well,
12. You almost feel a sigh of just that weight on your shoulders. You've said your bit, and Molokov saying that back to you. Just feel that little bit of comfort, like a hand on your shoulder, and then you feel like there is a hand on your shoulder, and you turn and there's nothing there. And that turn does not give you a sense
Almost.
of comfort.
in a sense of you'll sort of turn and probably then. Yeah. As soon as I sort of turn and there's nothing there, but there was the feeling of it, Harold will sort of turn back almost like a switch has been flicked, and her face looks like it did half an hour ago. She's blank expression, no, like just normal, and she'll just look forward to Molokov. We have to move now. And she'll start getting up. Are we pushing forward?
Yeah. So what's happening? Are we turning valves? Are we going south? Are we going east? What's the go? As Hera kind of snaps out of this kind of what's the word? Confidential, like, vulnerable state, and is snapped back into action mode. She's trying to get the party moving.
Next room, kill some kobolds, I guess.
Do we want to turn on the tap before we go?
Wasn't the point to do that afterwards?
All right. Pull out the key.
All right. Pull out the key, and so we're going this way here.
Yep.
And open up the door. As you do, you see, all of you now, a long corridor in front of you that opens up into what looks like a hall of tables and chairs and a lot of kobolds making a lot of noise. You also notice to the south of you as you come through the door, another set of doors down here. The kobolds are all moving around, clattering plates and knives and forks as they are almost chanting a song of wanting food. The rhyming, and they're all kind of songing along with each other. And it goes something like stomping feet and clattering claws, empty bellies, gnashing jaws. Gimme grub, gimme meat, kobold wait, kobold eat. And they keep repeating it over and over again as they kind of riling each other up as they're moving around and such. But if you guys want to get into this corridor, let me know what you want to do.
Well, Molokov pulls off from his belt a kind of grenade-looking thing, and I can make a bit of a boom if we want to go in guns blazing.
Sorry, Reese, what was to the south?
2 iron doors. Appears to have a lock with 4 prongs in it.
Bastards. Do you want me to try and just see what's around the corner as well, or do you want to just go in?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Puck is going to try and sneak up. carefully to be able to like just sort of see more of what's in the room.
All right, give me a stealth check, please. Stealth check, Puck.
Yep. No, he's good at that. That's a 16 plus, I think it's plus 11. Stealth.
That's
Yeah, plus
11.
27.
Boil and bubble, stew and brew, we want bones, we want goo. They carry on chanting all to each other, moving around this mess hall. As you can see, a couple of things I will point out to you. So, let's go. You see about, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 15, 16, 20 kobolds all moving around this array of tables. It looks like they've all got workwear on and mining stuff on, and they look like workers, basically, and they are all waiting for their grub as they have empty bowls that they put on their heads and they bang them with spoons, and then they get up on the seats and moving around. To the north, there is a head table that looks like there are 2 giant chairs and a giant table. Both are empty. No one is sitting in them. There's a fireplace in the middle of the room as they keep moving around these tables. To the east, there is a corridor that looks like it goes to 2 separate tunnels, north and south. And to the north, as you just poked your head around, there is a door up here down this corridor, if that's clear. And then to the south, there's not actually a door, but it is, I won't show you too much, it like goes out into what looks like a circular room.
Okay. I'm gonna dash back. There are a lot of kobolds, something nearly 20. Do we
Yeah,
want to
5
just draw-
each.
Yes, but do we want to draw them down the corridor where they can't really use their numbers?
Now you sound like Tucker. Not a bad idea.
It's not. It's just that well, I cannot make quite that big a boom, but I can try to get their attention.
I mean, I can, if it's a, I don't know, up to you, but I can also just shoot a couple of them and run back. Did I see any weapons on them, Reese, when I got to the end?
No, they're all just holding knives and forks and spoons and bowls and plates and cutlery boards, and they keep going on and on. Bash the pots and bang the drums. Feed us fast and here it comes. They're moving around the tables and all sing-songing with each other.
We're about to just decimate the working class. It's just these are just blue collar, 1 HP workers.
You can get them into the hallway. Yeah, I can do like a netting on some of them. Perhaps more likely to hit more if they are bunched together.
That's if they all follow.
They might just get it.
If you set up halfway down the corridor, we can always retreat back into the kitchen and back out again if we need to, and keep moving backwards. And if they don't charge us, then we can charge in.
I like it.
Molotovs, is it good for you to use your whatever ability you're talking about, or shall I just go shoot them and see what happens?
It seems to work out for us when you shoot things. See what happens.
Mask on. Come up halfway. Use the barrels. Get it. Block it off. Make it as narrow as possible. And Puck's gonna, move back out to the front again.
Sure. They start the rhyme again as they move around and try and find this. It's also more like they're playing musical chairs or stuff.
All right. Puck's going to get the crossbow out and just look at them and check behind him, make sure everyone's moved up to sort of, into a spot where we've got a narrow corridor.
Yeah, they don't seem to take any notice of you standing in the corridor there.
Yep. and I'm gonna shoot this guy.
All right. Roll me
Oh, I
and
guess I'll get it anyway.
yeah. Which one?
No. It's all good. Like I'll get sneak attack anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna shoot that guy.
Yep. Go for it. Roll for attack.
That's a 16 plus. 16 plus with the crossbow, rating crossbow. 16 plus 9. I assume
That'll
that
definitely hit.
hits.
Roll for damage.
Yeah. "24 points of piercing damage. Well, 24 points of damage. Full stop.
Nice. You shoot this crossbow and it just goes straight through this kobold, and it kind of like wavers and then falls down on the table as this next one.
Before he hits the ground,
yeah.
I'll shoot again.
Oh, sure, okay. Double shot.
So 15 on the dice to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And yeah, that's just nowhere near as much, but that's 12 points of piercing.
12 points of piercing. As before he hits the ground, the second arrow flies out and hits someone on the other side, and they both fall down as the next person in line stomps over them, continuing the rhyme as they bang the pots on their head. Stomping feet and clattering claws, empty bellies, gnashing doors. They don't seem to notice two of their compatriots gone down.
I'm just gonna keep shooting them.
Okay, how many more would you like to take out?
I'm gonna shoot again. I mean, another round is gonna go by. I'm gonna shoot twice.
All right, shoot twice. So we've got gone and gone.
I think after he fires the first one and prepares to shoot again, I'll probably take a few steps forward
Okay.
Yeah.
in that round of.
Did the second one die as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do I still get, like, they don't know that I'm here, so I'm still getting sneak attack?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one is
Wild.
yeah. This is target practice. This is very weird.
It was your lever action crossbow, which is basically canon at this point in time.
19 points of damage on the next one,
Down.
and then that's a 18 to hit
Yep.
and 10 points of damage.
Down. They continue on, stepping over them, picking the pots off their heads,
Obvious weapon.
and carrying around the table.
Like mutters under his breath. He did say 4 each. He looks back, kind of slowly,
Taken.
shrugs, and he's just gonna keep shooting them.
Okay, go for 2 more.
Ghost Slower Jaw is just slowly getting further and further away.
That's not a crit, but that's like 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yeah, and then that is 5, 10, 19 points
Down.
of damage, and then shoot again. That is a 21 to hit for 9 points of damage.
Down.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep doing this. If they're not gonna notice, I'm just gonna take them all out.
Another 2 go down, and they continue round. But now you see one of them kind of like looking at one of the tables as like 4 kobolds in a row are like laying face down. Some with arrows out the back, and you see it like looking and then joins back in the song. So it looks like you're kind of reaching the point where they're gonna start noticing.
Yep. Cool. That's fine. I'm gonna go again.
I'm also going to
Gonna
say
hit
that
that one if I
these
can.
ones, yeah, these ones kind of move up here.
Yep. That's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit. Give it damage.
21 to hit. No, sorry, 22. Doesn't matter. And that is 14 points of damage.
Down.
And shoot again. That's a 17 on the dice and 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. Down. Okay. At this point, what is everyone else doing?
I was gonna say,
Puck is
poking my
just
head like
boom,
round the corner as he's.
This is so weird.
If I notice that they are starting to, because I would have almost like had my head around the corner and seen that he was just taking them out one by one. But if I see that they're starting to sort of look, I will take an action.
Yep.
Sort of pull the pin out of a small round object, and I will toss it into the room, and I will. Let's aim for. Oh, there we go. Like right. Ooh. Okay. Can't mark anywhere.
Like there?
Just so if you go two blocks east of that. Oh yeah, that one there. Yeah. I'm trying to get in the middle of that group. Yeah.
Yep, sure.
With a 10-foot radius, thing, which I think should get all 5 of them.
Yep, go for it.
Yeah, I'm casting Shatter. So that'll be. So, that'll be con saves from all of them, I believe.
Con. Okay. We've got a 3, we've got a 13, we've got a 6, we've got an 18.
The
And a 4.
13 and the 18 save. So hang on. Three of those. That's good. 14. So 15 for anyone who didn't save, and 7 for those who did.
Okay. As this grenade implement lands and ting, 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 you see one of them chanting along, pick it up, and just hold it up as it then goes poof, and shatters all 5 of them out of existence, and the table scrapes along the ground and the chairs go down and they all stop and just look, and then the 4 remaining see the arrows all in these kobolds around, and they just go, breaks over, breaks over, breaks over, and they all start scattering in different directions. If anyone would like to do anything as they scatter, otherwise they are going to climb the walls and find crevices and disappear.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for them.
I have an action.
Yeah, I'll release a cantrip at one of them.
Yeah.
Try and chill touch one of them.
Okay.
And I guess the one that I can sort of see over there.
Yep.
Yeah, 19 to hit.
Yep, go for damage.
Uh, 10 necrotic damage.
Down. As he kind of like finds a little crevice in the wall and is scattering up to it, and this chill touch just falls down to the ground. 3 remaining.
I will vortex walk one of them.
Okay. Okay. What does that look like?
He goes to like grab a wall to climb away and just goes through it and then appears through the wall right here in front of Envy. It's a con save though.
8.
Yeah, that's a failure. And Envy's just going to take a grapple action.
A grapple? Sure.
I hope you guys aren't using your cool abilities on these little grunts that probably only have 1 HP.
Of course I'm using my cool abilities on one of these little grunts who probably has 3 HP. That's a 21.
Yeah, they're not gonna pass that. Welcome back, Jono. The other 2, unless anyone's doing anything, Puck, if you want to shoot them, you can.
Yeah,
I was going to try and shoot as well.
go for it.
That is a 15,
That'll hit.
and that is 6 points of damage.
Yep, down.
slaughtered the working class.
Yeah. Okay,
Just
so
the red smoker.
with all the kobolds dispersed of, I guess we'll quickly just go back, not to go too far back, but Jono, I assume you could hear everything that was going on?
You're not muted, but I can't hear you.
Yep. No audio.
Oh,
But you could hear us.
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
sweet.
cool.
All right. So as you enter, this room. So yeah, one kobold is being grappled by Envy.
What the hell was that?
Employee number?
The kobold looks up to you and is like, 42, obviously.
Yep, well, 42 performance reviews are coming up, and by the looks of things in there, you've been doing an extremely terrible job.
Terrible? What do you mean terrible? We've almost got it all ready to go. The Duke will be happy. The Duke will be happy with us. We deserve a break. I knew
Yes,
we
sure,
should
sure,
have
sure.
unionized.
All right, well, progress report.
You see him like racking his brain, going through. Yes, well, we are to have our meals first, and then the Duke and his visitor. She's coming. Yes, the one with the cloak. The one with the cloak. Yes, she's coming. She wants a progress report too. Do you work for her? I wonder if you do work for her. Weird people here. Little ones, not like the giants, but the armor's almost ready. The armor, it'll protect him. It'll make sure he goes through with no scars on his body. Yes. Oh, the dwarf. Yes, he's made great progresses. Yes, his work, his hammer, it makes it good, even though he's in chains. Oh, poor person in chains. No food for him? No, but we get break, because we're kobolds. Number 42, progress report done.
Well, very efficient. I'm excited for you, 42. Looks like you have a great world and opportunities ahead of you.
Oh, yes.
Tell you what, why don't you take an extra 5 minutes, and I'll just bonk him on the head and knock him out.
He falls down unconscious.
I feel
Not dead.
terrible.
Specifically knocked out.
Oh, I'm glad that you saved one of them.
It's almost more traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Wow,
wish we'd
those
just
guys
never
are
known.
Stupid. Everyone catch that?
Sure did.
Yeah, she's coming. She's coming here.
No, you saying she makes me think that you think you know who the woman in the cloak is.
I think the woman in the cloak is going to be the woman with the eyes. I don't think.
I guess.
You don't mean Tyrannesh, do you?
Why not? She wants to step through.
That could be some people.
And I
might call
think-
her, yes.
Well, no, she was lost away.
Didn't-
Jarosco has Tyrannesh. She can't be here.
Didn't we start piecing together that potentially this armor is so that Tyrannesh can step through?
I don't
Was
think
it
it's
so that
Tyrannesh you're
the-
talking about.
So that they can walk through the winds between the worlds.
That's correct, Dale, yeah.
Tyrannesh or the Yellow Emperor?
So I think,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
well, I think they're one and the same. I think, although the ring is in possession of Roscoe, I think that is the easy door, which is requiring her to use the armor to get through the hard door.
Ah,
You know what I mean? She can't come back through the ring because otherwise she'll be into Roscoe's claim.
right.
If she come back on her own regard, she's her own entity as such. Either way, I would not like to see her in person right now.
We need to find this dwarf.
Not that I want to see him.
I can wake up our guide.
Okay, well,
But
Dwarf.
also, this
Looking
We
at
do
Sean.
have.
this
Julie.
armor's almost done. Maybe I should turn off the valves.
I think it's a good idea. This dwarf, I'll have a look over at Jalug. Sounds like maybe your target?
It's like a silence spell.
Yeah, we can't hear anything. It might be a Discord setting or something, but
You
Has
can just type
Jalug
it.
told us why he's looking for the dwarf?
I
no.
think so. I think he's just said that he is looking for the dwarf. He's some kind of bounty
Yeah.
hunter.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go disable some of their shit if it doesn't mean too much to anybody else.
No, go for it.
Sure, you want to run
Buck is
back?
very confused. Like, he doesn't necessarily feel bad, but he's just really confused as to what all that was about.
Okay.
Is your crystal still up? Your seeing?
Absolutely not.
Do we want to have a look now that this path is clear? Have a look down this way. I am still very wary of drawing down everything that this place has on one location.
We know that the meal was being prepared for the Lord and his guest, and I'll be looking at like the main table there.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm. And there was a door up here.
Correct. Yeah, just north of that, just up here.
I'll have a look at the door at least.
Sure. It is not locked. It's just a plain door.
Okay, I'll probably just sit and listen at it for a little bit while Ghost is doing what he's doing.
Yep. Ghost, what are you doing? You're running back?
Yep.
Run all the way back to the 3 valves on the wall. Which one would you like to shut off?
It's a good question. If I look at them for a minute and use my thinking brain, do I think it's 1, 2, 3 primary, secondary, tertiary, or do I think, well, maybe no, 3 would be most important because of course you put the most important component on the right. Just
Give
gonna roll
me
dice for it.
Yeah, give me an intelligence check.
All right. Straight intelligence.
Yep.
Dirty 20.
30-20. You look at the piping and you kind of cast your mind back to dwarven designs and such. With a 20, you can see that it goes. Seems that 2 is the biggest one. Then it goes 1. Then it goes 3.
This is a bad idea. Exciting though. I will go up to 2,
Sure.
and I'll pull out a couple of my forging tools. I think that's probably not going to do it. I'll pull out my tinker's tools instead, and just work at the muscle to
Yep.
try and turn off 2, and then somehow dislodge this handle.
Sure. I think after a bit of working jiggling, there's not actually going to be a check for it, but you manage to turn 2 and the water stops pumping through and it eventually drains out, and you feel just a little bit of heat come back into the room. And as you do, you use your tools and take the cog off, or the valve off, and it seems that 2 is disabled.
I was thinking about throwing this down one of the other ones, but feeling the heat come back into the room, like, ooh, that's a bit spicy. I'll just put it in my bag of holding.
Would you like to do another one?
Is Hera standing in the door?
That's Molokov, I think.
Is Molokov standing in the door? Look over at Molokov and
I would have
looks at him.
definitely gone with you for it.
Yeah. What do you think? Go full tit?
We could do the last two at the same time.
We could be sending our own fiery deaths.
We could have said that any step of the way so far.
That's fair. You know what? Let's wake up the mountain. On 3. Oh,
On
you have to
3.
give me a head start. You go on 3. I'm going to start on 1. 1, 2, 3.
So hold on. Who's on which valve?
I'm on 1.
Okay, and you started first?
Yeah.
Cool. As you do it, your valve starts to shut down, and Molokov, when you go, it goes with ease. It does not set off anything by going at the same time. And eventually, all 3 valves are stopped, and you feel, again, the heat in the room just rise a little bit. What were you going to say, Hera?
Hera? Hello?
Oh, sorry, what was that? You glitched just for a second there.
What were you going to say?
Oh, sorry. No, I was making a base for it. I said who's on first, what's on second.
Oh, nice.
What's on third. Nothing important at all.
Cool. As all 3 valves are now shut off, anyone that's back in the mess hall, you can hear from the south a roar of rage. Oh, deep and booming.
Oops.
Sound good.
Are you breaking the valve?
What is?
Nah. I think I might leave this one.
Okay,
Nah, screw it.
break it off. Nice.
I think Molokov will
Let's
just
go, let's
bend
go,
with it
let's go.
backwards, just
Yep.
to like.
Nice. Make it really difficult. Puck, meanwhile, you
Wait,
hear...
you hear?
Yeah, anyone in the mess hall hears the roar coming from the south down here. And here, I guess you're in the room. You get a little bit more of a look down into that area, and you see a circular room with a metal platform circular in the middle, with chains that are going up some sort of hole in the ground. Looks like this is the bottom of the elevator. Puck, you hear nothing from behind this door.
I'm going to open it then.
Inside, you see what looks like you could best describe as a war room. It has got a long table in the middle, a nice red rug underneath it, paper and plans and stuff spread out along the table, a couple of candles around, and in the corner you see a iron statue with a rune glowing dimly on its head.
Where's Ghost when you need him?
I would say go to Molokov as they come back into the thing.
Oh, good. Ghost, what is that? Oh, and also, I don't know if you heard, but someone's angry, so well done.
I was hoping that'd be the case. Is it a recognizable rune of any sort?
Give me an Arcana check, please.
I absolutely shall. Oh, it's a 19 on the dice, so like a 25-ish.
25. You
26.
recognize this as a what is one of the Scold runes.
Gold runes.
Yeah.
Can
And
you explain that to Michael?
Yeah, you. Sorry, I was just copying it. You identify it. It's called Ild Strike. ILDSTRYKE. Ild Strike. And you recognize that this Scold rune can give bonuses. Bonuses to AC, bonuses to kind of defense and stuff. It looks like this being on this iron statue, it could be used to activate it, possibly. The iron statue does look hollow inside. And with the 20, and from what you've heard, this almost looks like a mock-up of a design.
So it doesn't seem. So it might be a rune that activates the armor.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to start walking around on its own, though. But it could be a possibility.
That'd be a safe
Understood.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Scold rune. Been a
Is
while
that
since I've
towards
seen
the
one.
north? Is this
It does it
the
for what?
corner?
It looks like a prototype. But I'm also not sure what it does. Proceed with caution.
Okay. Looking at the rest of the stuff in the room, like the table and things, or
Yeah.
is it like a chest of drawers or whatever? Is there any other clues in here as to what might be going on?
It looks like this is definitely. I mean, unless you're walking up to the table, they look like notes and plans and letters and stuff like that. Like it looks like a very. I mean, it's a war room with no map on the table kind of thing. But you know when they have like those little pieces of
Sure.
where your army's moving and stuff like that. That's kind of vibe you get from this room.
I am definitely walking up to the table, but I'm definitely keeping an eye on the
Statue.
statue.
Sure. Give me a perception check, please.
19.
19. You kind of approach, and the statue doesn't seem to activate or move or anything. And as you start looking through these documents on the table, you see sketches of stuff very similar to the statue. You see sketches of the statue being scaled up to sizes that shouldn't fit a normal humanoid. You see designs of an arm and a helmet. It looks like armor designs, basically.
This feels like it's very much up Molokov's alley.
Yep, this is definitely his specialty. I'll go grab him. And I will keep an ear out for whatever was yelling downstairs.
Sure.
Are the things in this room, are they like normal creature sized or are they huge?
There's a mix. There's a mix of both.
Okay.
But sure, when you go grab Molokov when he comes back. Hero, what are you up to?
I was, while these guys were off tinkering before they was allowed crying out, probably just dawdling around this room, looking over the kobolds, probably trying to maybe wiggle out a couple bolts for Puck. And just sort of half lost with myself a little bit. Just be walking around. Then we'll hear the fucking scream out of anger and okay. And we'll probably just be waiting sort of up this end of the mess hall, but just concentrating down on what's there, trying to like listen out, I guess, for more shouting, or if I could think I can hear giant footsteps, assuming that there was actually, I probably maybe will come like a little bit closer, just so I'm like I know there's no real noise in here, but so I'm further away from conversation, just listening out for the thuds of footsteps, maybe,
Yep.
or any yelling.
Give me a perception check, please.
Ugh. Gosh. 9.
9. Yeah, you can hear movement coming from around that corner, but you're unsure of what's going on. It doesn't sound like anything's approaching, though. Molokov, you seem to be getting summoned by Ghost.
Buck wants you upstairs.
Sorry?
Neat set of armor with a skull rune on it. I believe it's one of the Ild Strike runes. Right up your alley.
Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Quite.
It takes you into this
Molotov
room.
probably would know what that is.
Yeah, it takes you into this room, and you see on the table these plans, and they kind of make a bit more sense to you, Molokov, that they're designs for a set of armor made to fit a humanoid probably around your size. Different pieces, arm plates, helmet, chest plate, legs, and all that stuff. But it also is scaled to a giant size set of armor. Give me an Arcana check, please.
Sure thing. Now, when you say like my size, like as in this set of armor that's in here, is that about my size?
It is.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. And then it looks, yeah, gotcha. Kind of like a model setup situation. Oh, and I get to add a D4 to that. Which I think is. Ready? So 4, 2, 6, so 17 total.
17 total. It definitely looks like this armor is being made out of adamantine, from like the symbols and stuff that are on it. And yeah, you also see this set of armor at the end of the room with this glowing, slightly glowing rune on its forehead.
And it's not sort of reacted as with.
No, it has not.
Because I imagine I've had, I'm just there at the end of the table. I imagine I would have had to go around the table a fair bit to sort of gather up what we're figuring out there. I think I will very cautiously approach the set of armor.
Sure. You just give you an idea of what it looks like.
It's not concerning that there's a picture of it. Sick.
I mean,
Oh,
Yeah, you see it's standing up against the wall. You kind of take a look around. I'm assuming you're not touching it for now. It seems like it can open in places, but there doesn't seem to be any sort of mechanism. And yeah, I'll say that sword is kind of just like resting beside it, kind of thing. It's just standing with its arms down.
it's giving me Terminator from Warhammer vibes.
Oh yeah, it looks beefy. Like it's not just a statue of decoration. It's definitely made for something. I'll say as well, like
Yeah, it's not
the,
just
the
a model.
bolts in its shoulders and stuff like look like a not amateur, but like a first time welder has done it. Like there's really rough rivets and stuff and stuff like that. Like it looks like definitely a first draft.
I am going to try and remove the helmet.
You reach up to the helmet, and grab onto it. Give me a strength check, please.
I love those. This be a natural one, you watch. Natural 6 is not much better, which will bring it to a 10 total.
You wait for a second, and nothing happens. The rune stays slightly glowing. Ugh. It doesn't budge.
Does it look like one solid thing the whole way around? Like, does it look like a set of armor that someone could actually put on, or does it look built?
Yeah, like I said,
You know what I mean?
it
Like-
looks like it's been built together. It definitely is hollow. You can see through the helm slots that it's hollow. So maybe there's a way to
Yeah,
activate
gotcha.
it. Maybe there's a way to open it, but you can't see any contraptions that identify that.
Hmm. Really want to try and put it on somehow, but I don't want to step out of my armor to do it. Hmm. Actually, how long does that take?
What are you trying?
I was gonna say, Molotov's taking his
Can't
armor
you-
off, can I have a short rest?
Can't you don and doff your armor as an action, or is that not
I
yet?
can. Yes. No, I can. That is Iron Man armor, essentially. There's just something that I'm. Where is it? Okay, no. That only takes an action, provided I have Smith's tools in hand. Guess who has Smith's tools?
What are you
Two
planning?
thumbs.
What are you planning?
I still don't know how to. I would like to try and investigate the armor for. I don't know. I guess I've already made my Arcana check, but there's definitely no way. Yeah,
Not with the
No,
checks you
there's
made.
no way to. No, and I can't. I've already tried to pull the helmet off. I think. And what did I suppose asking Ghost? What did this rune? What did you decide this rune meant?
Well, it's a buffing rune, but it could also be a part of an activation process.
I poked the
Not
rune.
really sure.
You poke the rune.
I poked the rune.
The statue leans back, comes forward. Nothing happens.
Is it worth just trying to transcribe the rune onto your own armor?
I assume that means you're in the room here.
I will walk up towards them, yeah.
I'll move you into Jalug. Everyone's in the room.
But I'm going to go see what's taking.
I'll actually, I'll
Do you want to
stay
type
out
it?
here.
Sorry, what was that? So you're asking if I can transcribe it onto my own armor?
Can you just copy? Can you copy that rune exactly? What have you? I'll hold up a patch of paper, and I'll dip my finger in some ink from my pouch and sort of dry it off, and I'll sort of lightly brush my finger over the top of it and try and see if I can make a rub, essentially, of what the rune looks like.
I mean, how do I? Imagine you had all the pieces for a spell, all the materials. You knew exactly how to wave your arms like you do, but you had no idea what the spell did. Intent matters.
Well,
Is
well, I mean, that is
I think
often
what
the
I would-
case.
You made a good point. You can't
No, but you say there is
always just.
two options of no, yeah, I suppose. No.
I think yeah, I think the point Molokov's trying to say is that I don't know if it would work just painting the rune on. You know what I mean? Like you might have to put all sorts of magic into it. You
No,
know,
but you have innocent with Dale's thinking
do
you have arcane nature and ability, and these sorts of magics are up your alley. I just wondered whether it was that. I suppose no, it wouldn't be that straightforward. You would have to be casting the spell, so you'd have to be knowing, I guess, what you were doing.
I hate to be that guy, but we
that
did
does make
just
sense.
shut off the entire cooling system for everything underneath this mountain about 7 minutes
and
ago.
made someone yell very loud.
Yeah. How about you just drop that in your bag of holding here and we'll come back to this later?
I imagine it's more like putting the bag of holding over it.
Precisely that.
You're putting the bag of holding over the statue. Is that what I'm hearing?
Is that what you want me to do?
I
It's a
would
lot
like
of
to take it
stress.
with us.
Is there any way that we can disassemble this?
Malikov has tried to take the helmet off, didn't really work. And while you think about that, just quickly, Jalug, it looks like the kobolds are just mindless workers. They were fully immersed in waiting for their dinner that they didn't notice one by one falling. Obviously, when they noticed a big bang, they scattered. But yeah, it looks like they are just grunts, basically. No loot or anything on them. Looking over the tables and stuff, it looks like they take their breaks reasonably often in here. There still is that corridor to the east. And yeah, but I'd say you kind of come up to this room and see everyone talking about this statue here. You're going to say something here?
I don't think this is gonna fit in my bag. It's a bag. I know it is spacious on the inside, sure. But whatever is entering the bag still has to be bag sized, you know. It only opens this much. It's not shoulders. I have to what? It's a bag. Oh, it's not going to. I don't think it will fit. I love your enthusiasm, Molotov, but perhaps you have, or any of us have the arcane nature to make something small.
I can, but
Oh,
weirdly enough, but only for a short
Right.
time.
tumbleweed flies by.
You know what? I'm just going to start going through and like compiling all the stuff on the desk and just rolling it all up.
Sure. I'd say as well that now that Ghost, you've had a look, Molokov's had a look, all this stuff. Yeah, they look like plans and instructions, kind of thing. Someone has definitely instructed this to be built.
There's no maps on the desk.
No maps on the desk, no.
nothing on the disc that describes how to doff the armor, dot the armor.
It doesn't appear to be, no.
No. Instructions to make it, not instructions how to use. Sorry.
Yeah, instructions how to make it, instructions of what it is, and instructions of making it to a larger size so a larger being could get their own suit, basically.
Oh, well,
I have
there we go.
a weird
I'll
thought.
take the armor, but can you take the instructions?
Ghost, you you teleported that cobalt earlier. Could you oh,
The answer is yes. The long answer is I'm not sure. The longer answer is play at your own risk.
Well, I think we might need to make a decision pretty soon, guys.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm gonna back out of the room.
Okay.
Hey, why don't you go wake up our little kobold friend so he can lead us to the dwarf or something?
sorry, my phone died.
I'll, as I walk past Jalug, I'll probably give him a look and I imagine follow him if that's where he's gonna head to.
Okay, sure. You two head back to the kobold. He was kind of down in this corridor here. Just quickly, can we go back to the you're wanting to teleport yourself into the armor? Is that what I'm hearing?
There is something I can maybe do, but I have to be wary.
All right, let's make some action
I'm willing
happen.
to give this a shot. Oh, Jesus. All right. This is all sorts of trigonometry that I was not ready for.
Before Ghost, as Ghost sort of like sets himself up to do this, Molotov will release a mechanism and the chest of the armor opens up and you see the legs open up forward as well, and he'll step himself out of his armor, which
A very rare
almost
sight.
side by side with the statue stands on its own. All right.
All right. You're going to feel a little pinch. And I imagine you're standing directly in front of the armor at the moment. Just kind of, my hand glows red, and I just kind of shove you in the middle of your chest, and you just feel this, like, bolt of insanely quick movement, and suddenly, in theory, you're inside some armor.
Okay, so what I want to know is, how does the spell work? Molotov, you can choose to fail a save if you want to.
Correct.
Specifically on the spell, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Well, okay. So the target can... You magically twist space around another creature you can see within range. Can choose to fail a constitution throw. The target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. Technically, hollow armor is unoccupied. The space must be on a surface or in a liquid that can support the target without the target having to squeeze.
So you hope that it's fully hollow inside. As the red symbols start appearing around your hand, and you push Molotov in. Molotov, you choose to fail this con save.
I do.
This is so dumb.
You feel
It's so dumb.
You feel this shock, almost like a pump to your heart, and suddenly your vision narrows down to two slits. Yeah, it's kind of like that Trojan kind of helmet, and on the other side, outside the slits, you can see Ghost and Hera standing in the room as you feel the cool metal on your fur around you.
I try to move.
You go to raise your arm, and it doesn't move.
Yeah, thought so.
And that is where we're going to end this week's
Love it.
session.
Beautiful. I do have a plan, guys. I just might need some.